What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, man, I just seen this. This just happened today in Pennsylvania, in particular, Shanksville, Pennsylvania. All right. So, Joe Biden was making an appearance there. Of course, you know, today is 9/11. This is the 23rd anniversary of the terrorist event that occurred back on September 11th, 2001. And according to White House spokesman Andrew Bates, he claims that Joe Biden did this as a gesture of, quote, bipartisan unity. All right. So the story that they give is that let me make sure I got this right. So they claim that he gave a hat to a Trump supporter who then said in the same spirit that Joe Biden should put on his Trump cap. And then he briefly wore it. That's what he claims. Okay. That's what they putting it as the spin. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like this, man. Is that possible? Sure. Is it also possible that, you know, all the rumors about Joe Biden's cognitive issues playing a role in some of his actions lately? Sure. Right. But I look at it as Joe Biden, even if that's true, if this was bipartisan unity and all that, I can't see Joe Biden doing this if he hadn't been screwed over by the Democratic Party and forcing him out. Okay. He was forced out. Okay. I think he was actually threatened in more ways than one. Okay. He was definitely pushed out by the donors. Okay. They stopped donating to his campaign after June 27th. They lost faith in Joe Biden, even though he had garnered 14 million votes in the primaries. Even though I have my issues with how they did it, still, he went through the process. He got the votes. She didn't. Okay. He was forced out. They stopped dropping money in the pot. They pushed, and I'm pretty sure Kamala angled as well with the donors, and the Democratic elite pushed Joe Biden out. And I'm pretty sure that even though he did it for the quote unquote unity of the party and quote unquote, and I guess by extension, unity of the country, whatever that means, even though it's unity of the party and for the good of the country, really he was forced out. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that he feels some type of way about that. So that probably, maybe you could say a part of him is, I don't want to say go rogue. I don't think he's going to come out and actually say he's for Trump. But a part of him like, you know what? Fuck y'all. You know? I waited all these years to run for president. On my third try, failed in 1988. Almost died in 1988 of cerebral hemorrhage. Failed in 2008. Got the VP nod. Okay? Totally subservient to Barack Obama for 2 terms. Finally gets his chance in 2020. And then he's being forced out for her. Right? He being forced out. So in his mind, he might be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put his head on. And I know somebody going to take a photo of it. And I don't give a shit. You know, because look, Donald Trump, who I thought performed miserably last night, he did say one thing that might be true. He said that Joe Biden hates her. So if that's the case, you know, it is what it is. He like, you know, maybe. Hey, I remember reading back in 1968. Well, I wasn't reading in 1968, but I remember reading about how back in 1968, LBJ dropped out, right? LBJ dropped out. He half-heartedly wanted to run, but a part of him didn't want to run for a couple of reasons. A, he wasn't sure that he was going to win. And B, the more important reason, he knew that the men in his family didn't live past 65. He was getting ready to turn 60. So he wasn't sure he would survive a second term. Incidentally, in actuality, he died 2 days after what would have been the end of his second term, January 22nd, 1973. But anyway, even though openly he supported his vice president, Hubert Humphrey, he didn't really respect him that much. Not as a political heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? It's come out now that behind the scenes, Lyndon Johnson was trying to do things to help Nixon. Because you know why? Because he resented that Humphrey was going against his war policies. And he knew that Nixon, no matter how you feel about the Vietnam War, he knew that Nixon would continue the American foreign policy when it comes to Vietnam. And he knew Nixon, right? So, yeah, even though there's party unity and all that, don't be mistaken that sometimes, behind closed doors, you guys don't like each other. And sometimes they really don't support one another. But they just don't say anything openly. But this could be a tacit fuck you to Kamala. It could be possible. But I doubt that the mainstream media is going to talk about this to her. They're going to act like they're going to completely ignore this and going to cackle it off like she did when it comes to, immigrants eating animals, which actually did occur, but she said it was nonsense. But, what Donald Trump should have did when she cackled like that, what he should have did was said, you did that same laugh. You did that same laugh when you sent an innocent black man to prison for a crime he didn't commit. He said it. It's on record in an interview that you laughed at him. You laughed in his face. That's the same laugh you gave. That's what he should have said, but whatever, man. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.